We will keep it on strict Swiss time. My apologies for opening 3 minutes late. That's my fault, I'm afraid. And without further ado, I'll hand over to Mr. Ban.
Thank you for your introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to see you again this year. The world has changed dramatically since last year's World Economic Forum. Revolutions has swept across North Africa and Middle East, bringing new freedoms and democracy, but also new challenges as well. Issues of economic inequality and social justice have come to dominate the global debate. From North Africa to New York, Athens to Abidjan, people everywhere are demanding change. They call out for dignity, they demand justice, a better and more fair deal. They want jobs, opportunities, and global markets that work for all people, not just the elites. Ladies and gentlemen, just recently, the world's population reached 7 billion. 5 years from now, that figure will grow by 500 million. That means food, water, energy, jobs, sanitation, 500 million people will need on top of current needs. This is a huge challenge, and we must rise to it. During the events of the Arab Spring, the United Nations called loudly on the region's leaders to listen to their people. I urged them to be bold, to change, to reform before it was too late. Some did and benefited, others did not, and they have reaped the whole world. Today I call on the leaders gathered in Davos to listen as well. I call on them to hear the voices of their people, and I urge them to do more, to address their legitimate aspirations, to do much more. 2 days ago at UN headquarters in New York, I presented to the member states of the United Nations a comprehensive agenda for action for my second term as a Secretary General and also beyond. It is grounded in 5 imperatives, 5 generational opportunities to create the future we want. Even though you must have already read them, I would like to just briefly repeat. First, by promoting sustainable development. Second, by systematically privileging prevention of conflict, human rights abuses, and the impact of natural disasters. Third, innovating on our core business of peace and security, humanitarian work, democracy, and human rights. And fourth, by supporting nations in transition. And fifth, and by working with and for women and young people. These are 5 areas where opportunity and need come together like never before. If we act together, we can wipe out the death from 5 of the world's biggest killers over the next 5 years. Malaria, polio, new pediatric HIV infections, maternal and neonatal tetanus, and measles. This unprecedented feat is truly possible. We can set the foundations for a new generation of sustainable development goals, building on the Millennium Development Goals, advancing our development agenda beyond 2015. My meetings in Davos have focused on energy, health, and the upcoming Rio +20 conference. Our goal is to mobilize global action and galvanize the power of global partnership. The CEOs and entrepreneurs at the World Economic Forum are key players. That's why United Nations has cut the ribbon on a new relationship with the private sector. We declare ourselves open for business. Businesses around the world are putting sustainability and social issues higher on their corporate agenda. We have promising work underway on energy, access, health, water scarcity, human rights, gender equality, and anti-corruption, much of it supported by the private sector. But we are far from the transformation needed. I urge the chief executives here in Davos and everywhere to join us. There is a new business model emerging in the United Nations where governments, private sector, finance, philanthropists, and civil society come together to solve public problems. By working together, by dedicating our energies and resources to our common cause, we have the chance today to move the needle for generations to come. We can create the future we want. Thank you for your attention, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary General. Can I just get a sense in the room of how many questions there are? Can you just raise a hand if you've got a question? And then when I come to you, if you can just give us your name and your news organisation, that would be fantastic. We're going to start with the lady in the first row.
Thank you very much. Yan Qingyang from China Business News. It seems to me that we are facing a chaotic world after the crisis, especially in 2012, in terms of the economic situation, in terms of the political cooperation between the different stakeholders. But I think the big theme of the Winter Davos give us a kind of a solution, a sign of the solution. We have to find the new models. So in terms of the global governance, do you see any sign that we have find some clues of the new models in global governance? Thank you very much.
Sir.
Certainly, we are living in an era of uncertainty. The global economic growth has been slowing since middle of last year, 2011. And I'm afraid to say that all the predictions say that this trend may continue well beyond 2012, creating significant challenges for the well-being of millions, even billions of people around the world, particularly in poorest countries. This is what we have to do. Then people have been discussing about how we have to address these challenges. Davos Forum is very good venue where government leaders, business CEOs, NGOs, they come together and discuss about the new models and the responses to these changing situations. That's why I'm here and I'm meeting a lot of government officials and the business CEOs, how we can strengthen our partnership, how we can work together in coping with this. You have seen the G20 meetings have been addressing these issues, but there were also concerns that the G20 countries have been dealing with their own economic problems. That's why I have been urging G20 leaders that while I would welcome strongly for their stimulus packages to overcome this financial crisis, they should never lose sight over this plight and challenges of developing world. Now, this was the message that I have been delivering to world leaders. First, we have to do all to save our planet, to revitalize our economy, to address all this social injustice, social inequality. These are the calls from many countries, both developed and developing world. You have seen Occupy Wall Street, Occupy all, Europe or whatever. These are coming from even the developed world now, not only from a developing world. That is why I'm urging that we need to invest in sustainable development. That is why UN takes sustainable development as top priority in addressing these issues. There are many issues like climate change, food crisis, water scarcity, energy shortages, and gender empowerment, oceans and cities. All these are interconnected issues, and therefore, in investing sustainable energy, sustainable development, that will help revitalize the economy, that will help protect this planet Earth, that will spread the benefit of these modern technologies and development. That's my message. Thank you.
Can I get a sense,